Hello and welcome to PopCulture Reacts and a special double bill. Two songs.
First ever double bill, isn't it?
It is the first ever double bill. So, Sed, what are you bringing us for this double feature of fun?
Well, this is a follow-up to one that we'd done previously. We did Capital Steez and Joey Badass and Survival Tactics. And at the time, like I sort of said, if you like it, we'll do a couple more. And one of the reasons why I said we'll do a couple more is a lot of the songs are very short. So, you know, seemed fitting for a double bill. Like, we don't want to start getting out the 25-minute epics and go double bills.
So no rush then?
No. Well, we could maybe do a live special, an 8-hour feed where we go through one album. But there was two songs I particularly had in mind, and one was called Vibratings, which is what we're going to do first, which I think is quite an interesting gap between Survival Tactics and the second one that we'll listen to. But also, by coincidence, in our comments for the Survival Tactics, someone asked, and bear with me, because I put a name here, King Potato, excellent name, did say, how about reacting to these two? So I thought, well, brilliant. You know, like, one, that's nice because people who are watching this and commenting are obviously simpatico with our mindset of songs that we want to listen to. And, you know, it's nice to kind of give that shout out to someone when they've actually asked for it. Now, I did say in the previous one that part of this as well is kind of talking about Capital Steez, because there's a story with that. But I guess we'll do the two songs, and then I'll kind of pick up on that and pick on the grander Capital Steez story.
Yes. So, with the magic of video, make it happen.
I made it happen.
Ooh. And are we ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's get it on.
Look, no interruptions, stereos pumping from the dungeon, coming live from Flatbush Junction and making it hard to function, breaking down your sound systems and governmental corruption. So step aside, pumpkin, quit jumping to assumptions. The illest cats to ever rap, we spitting crack on beats and crap probations. And Nathan, I make that up with simple checks. You resist the fact that we're about to bring it back, then spring in action right until your motherfucking pencils crack. Shit, I'm here all night. I wanna hear it, then embarrass it. Here on sight, and don't expect to be saved without a heroin sight. Cause my microphone is hotter than the heroin pipe. Something like the finest pip, maybe even some white to sniff. It ain't a catnap, but I'm sure it'd have you lying stiff. Try it, kids, bite it into Flintstones vitamins. Get stoned and get home and lie about your righteousness. Nah, I'm serious. In fact, I seen God today. We had a deep discussion over Marvin Gaye and Chardonnay. A bird caught my attention. I chased her and she got away. Now I'm left with pennies and I had to learn the harder way. That's a foul shot, and I ain't even get to score. Just memories that always ended me getting. But that's the past, I don't ponder on it anymore. It represents a metaphor of me closing a mental door. Au revoir Simone, sad songs when I'm alone. And nowadays my heart beats to this metronome. And my heart's beat is waiting for a recollective poem. And a calm rhythm that resembles home. Gone. They say sound is vibration and it got my mind shaking. Can you feel it vibrating? I call it vibrating. They say sound is vibration and it got my mind shaking. Can you feel it vibrating? I call it vibrating. I call it vibrating.
Adverts.
Meet your coach. So that was Vibrating. I guess first things first, what did y'all think of the song?
Really cool. It's one of those of I was waiting for a chorus or at least a sort of a repetitive hook in it.
Yeah.
Sort of lyrically, which obviously you get
at the end.
At the end,
yeah, it is really odd structurally for that, isn't it? You're used to having that like either in the middle or a couple of times during the song, but yes, you kind of culminate to that, don't you? And it was a kind of really interesting way of doing that, I think.
But yeah, no, I really like this flow. The beat behind it is very old school.
And I mean, like, I'm hopefully it will come across in this, like, you know, it's very distorted with a purpose, isn't it? It's really rough, it's really raw, it's really pared back. And the reason why I said it's like kind of a bit of a, I guess, a linker between survival tactics and what we'll go on to is survival tactics, I think, kind of had that production value of the kind of boom bap. We talked a bit about it being kind of some of that Public Enemy type beats. And I think this has got that hard, rough beats to it. But seeing that it's not as generic as some of the other stuff, you know, they've kind of thought about going, well, actually, we could just have this drum beat going, or we could distort it so that actually it kind of throws you off when you're listening to the song.
Yeah, and it's one of those, it's very easy to hear, but also slightly harrowing at the same time because of that level of distortion.
Yeah.
But
and to get it straight away, I mean, like that opening bit is I mean, I remember the first time I listened to it and I went, oh shit, have I got my speakers turned up too loud? Have I just blown them? Like, and I had to go and check to make sure that I hadn't destroyed, well, it's probably my headphones more than anything else. I was like, oh God, have I broken this?
But yeah, but I think it fits the lyrics for it being that dirty and fuzzy and a bit nasty. Because obviously the lyrics being all the drugs.
But I found, I mean, and again, I think it's hard, isn't it, on a first listen to a song, especially sometimes a hip hop song. I mean, so you said earlier about the flow, and there's just like little bits that jump out to me. It's like who's going, it's the metaphor for me closing a mental door, and it's simple, but it's not the sort of stuff I generally expect to hear in my hip hop, especially one that's talking a lot about drug paraphernalia and how drugs impact people, because you kind of expect that more glamorizing of it, don't you? But this is more of a kind of honest discussion about what this does to people, does to him. But yeah, I think it's great. I mean, there's a reason why I bought this back, and I love him. Makes it sound like I want to marry him, but I love this stuff, and as I say, this one I think is an interesting example because of that slight musical shift.
Yeah, and so it's obviously in no way, shape, or form glamorizing drugs in any way.
Yeah,
this is very much the real fucking. This is why people are taking these, because life is shit.
Yeah,
this isn't let's get stoned and let's get high and be happy. This is,
and you know,
you look
escape. You look at the video, and I know we've done some videos by some bands who do tremendous videos. This one was less about the video because it is very basic, isn't it? You know, like it's done on a shoestring budget. Now, I think probably partially it was done on a shoestring budget because they had a shoestring budget at the time. These videos were kind of in preparation for a mixtape more than anything else, and pieced together. So they was never going to have high production values, but when you mix it in with the message of the song and, as I say, the way the music's going, the video works for me because I kind of go, if that was glitzy and glamorous, it wouldn't fit with the way that the song is going and the way that the music's going.
Yeah, it's one of those, if you don't want the traditional hip hop guns and bitches video for this.
Yeah. So next up, if you want to start tippy tapping, we will be doing again Capital Steez, but this time it will be Free the Robots.
Yeah, and in a thing that's the one at the very top of the list.
It's the first one I ever heard. Well, actually, saying that, maybe I can't remember if it was this or Survival Tactics, but either one was the one that started, and I listened to the other one second, and I was sold straight away. I would say that this of the ones that have a video, this is my favourite. There are other songs out there that don't have videos, like all good recording artists, but this is my favourite with a video. So we're going to go with this one. Let's pop it over here.
Get some magic.
Are you ready?
Let's get it on.
Let's go.
Right. An optional. About to one take this shit, nigga.
Dear diary, what a day it's been. Dear diary, it's been just like a train.
Illuminati trying to read my mind with an eagle eye. And the haze got me thinking why we killed Osama and plenty innocent people died. We should see the signs, but we Stevie blind. No disrespect to the man or the legend, but I'm sick and tired of asking my brethren if it all ends in 2011. Would God come through or would he actually forget us? Cause apocalypse is getting closer, but they more focused on that little youth sipping soda. Fuck a sugar act, niggas out pushing crack. And I lost my father figure because of that.
Dear diary, what a day it's been. Dear diary, it's been just like a train. Been just like a train. Been just like a train.
So can I live? Or is my brother trying to gun me down? Scuffle a couple of rounds till we hear the thunder sound. No lightning, clash of the titans, and after the violence, a moment of silence. Cause I want mine the fast way, the ski mask way, looking for a fast pay. And instead of sticking up for each other, we picking up guns and sticking up our brothers. So fuck them all, I'm coming through raging, and I won't stop till Reagan is caged in. Mom tell me I should let the Lord handle it. The arm of the Lord is trying to manhandle us, a man's world, but a white man's planet, and the doors are slowly closing while we falling through the cracks of it. It's a shame that flipping crack will be the best alternative if you don't make it rap in these crack houses and trap houses that trapping us in, and in the end we're gonna remain stagnant. I ain't having it.
Dear diary, what a day it's been. Dear diary.
That
Trying to
was,
work out where I know that sample from.
it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's terrible. I should have prepped that, but yes, it is.
'Cause that sample is familiar, so familiar.
I'll look it up for us while you tell us what you thought of the song.
I really like that. That's one of those I definitely need to listen to it again, because with the video, I was missing what was going on because I was trying to pay attention to the video because there's so much going on in the video at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, of the two that we've done today, I prefer this one over the first one we've done.
It's
much
a step
more
up,
cleaner.
isn't it? It's
Yeah.
a step up in production, and I think it's a step up in lyrics. It's a step up in imagery. You know, you talk about the video and kind of what, but even, and again, hard. First time listening to a rap song, any song, let's be honest, it's hard to pick up on all the things that are in there that are woven into those lyrics. And I think this one is great for listen after listen after listen. You'll hear different lines every time you do it. You'll hear different flows, and you know, is everything profound? No, no one's ever going to get everything profound. But I think at the very least, everything he does is thought-provoking to a degree and enjoyable. And of course, as you say, with this one, with the video, it brings a lot of, you know, you're seeing things like the word laughter appeared, and all of a sudden the S appears in front of it for slaughter, and you know, there's loads and loads of stuff building and building and building on this video, and lots of messages he clearly wants us to focus in on or think about.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot going on in there, and I said it's definitely one for another watch.
Yeah.
And
samples wise, the Dear Diary bit was is from the Moody Blues, and the musical bit is Fusion D minor from the 1970s by Egg.
Yeah, egg and one of those that are like Air, the weird French sort of synth wavy stuff. So,
and for my own personal gratification, some bits in there are sampled from "Mind Playing Tricks on Me" by Ghetto Boys, one of my favourite hip hop songs of the '90s.
But yeah, no,
so
definitely.
So you likey?
Yeah, definitely watch that video again, probably with the sound off, just to actually sort of get everything that was going on in that. But yeah, it's definitely going on the Spotify.
Now, just for kind of context for things like the videos, so I mean, he is 18/19 at this point, going on that. And when we talked about the survival tactics one, I think Joey Badass was sort of 17, and they were school friends, and they'd started to do some hip hop. And as they were doing it, they kind of met up with more and more people and formed this pro era collective, which we said about in the last video. I said last album. We're not releasing albums, but you know, they didn't have much money. You know, like it wasn't like they were getting millions of dollars thrown at them to do this. A lot of this was being done off their own back. And the two tracks from here are actually, as I say, on a mixtape. And the mixtape is called America Corruption. And then the America has a KKK in it. And it's fantastic. It is. I listen to it and I love it. And I listen to it to this day. And I think it's fantastic. And at the same time, Joey Badass was getting a lot of attention. 17-year-old talented rapper. And this is where this gets a little bit unfair, and I apologise for what I'm about to do here, because it's not great. So Pro Era had been signed to a record contract, and all of them had, and they released an album in December 2012, 21st of December 2012, and there was a lot of hope for how well it would go, and this is actually quite difficult to talk about. And then on the 23rd of December, so 2 days later, he tweeted the end, and he walked off the top of the building and killed himself. He'd struggled quite badly with his mental health over a lot of his life, and you know, who knows what goes into the stories of what makes up how people get to the point that they get to. But and I found his music much later. You know, I found it about 3 or 4 years ago. So unfortunately, he'd been long gone when I heard it. So what there is out there, it is what there is out there. But I listened to this stuff, and you almost go, from what I heard, wow, what could have happened here? You know, I think he had that kind of potential, like, poet for a generation element to him. I think he was showing that level of talent early doors. More so though, and I'm going to stumble through this because I'm no expert in this, but I think it's an important story because you had someone who had potentially the world at his feet. The success was just coming, and still the tragedy happens. And I think it kind of highlights that no matter what your circumstances are in life, no matter what situation you think you find you in, or someone from outside might look and go, wow, this is great. Life's really hard, isn't it? And life's really hard for people for so many different reasons. And like, you know, we do this because we want to have fun and we want to listen to songs. And, you know, I'd love people who are watching this video to listen to more and more of his stuff because I do think it's phenomenal. But more so, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this is there will be people out there who are listening to this who are affected by many things in life. And I think it is that kind of lean to go, I don't think I have the answers. I don't think you have the answers, but reach out. There are services that you can turn to. There are people you can turn to, even when you feel at your lowest and your most down. Like the only thing I'd ignore is that don't just ask for help in whatever way, whatever situation you find yourself in. Ask for help because, you know, as I say, we see a story like this, someone who took their own life, and what a tragic loss for him, his family, his friends, but more so a tragic loss for himself. You know, like he didn't get to live that life that I think we'd all want him to have lived.
So it's the same if you look in the metal world. They had like Chris Cornell and Chester Bennington. literally went within a couple of months of each other, and you're like, amazing talents that have the world at their feet, and
and from the outside,
especially in the case of someone like Limp Bizkit, where they're, or not Limp, but Linkin Park even, where they're doing headline festivals to hundreds of thousands of people a night, that you can have all the things you covet, but still not be happy.
And I guess potentially what you say there is all the things that we think people covet, you know, those things that we might say, oh, you know, like your life is perfect once you achieve that. So, but it's not for that person. It has to be perfect for them. And I don't know, it's hard. And as I say, I didn't it felt a bit mean almost, kind of dropping that there was a tragic end to the story. But I said it in the first episode, I kind of didn't want to go through it if you just went, oh, I don't like him, he's rubbish, because it kind of seemed a bit pointless. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I just, if there's anything we can take from this episode is please reach out to anyone, anytime, because I'm not saying anyone can ever fix, but maybe people can help. And the worst thing is to think that someone is suffering out there and doesn't have an outlet in any way, shape or form, be that a professional, be that a friend, be it a family member, be it whomever.
And as someone that suffers with mental health and stuff, it doesn't have to be someone you know. I've had a few times where I've seen stuff on like Twitter or Facebook and stuff, and been like, just randos just go, "Are you okay?" Something like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, it can be anyone. So even if you don't suffer, but you see someone that puts something up that seems a little bit, just ask them if they're all right, or do they want to talk or something. And you know,
and there's something really powerful in that, isn't there, as well, of like those examples you've just given of going, and you might look at someone and you might think everything's perfect for them, but maybe there's a key in that of maybe if we are more mindful of those human beings around us and just taking the time every now and again to say, are you all right? Not wait till it looks like it's gone bad, but maybe just spend that bit more time asking people, are you okay? Because it's a free question, and if they are okay, they're going to tell you they're okay, aren't they? But maybe that stranger's voice or that disconnected voice might make all the difference for someone at the right time for them.
So yes, that was heavier than I was expecting for a couple of music reviews.
And again, apologies, but yes, you know, it's as I say, ostensibly we do this to listen to songs we like, and I'd like to think, by the way you said it, is that actually you did get to hear some songs you like, and I would really encourage. There is some posthumous work. I think they've recorded a lot of stuff in their studio, and there is sort of posthumous stuff that's been done that they release, and I say they release like on the Pro Era YouTube channel. They sort of sporadically put stuff out, and sometimes it's in conjunction with other people from the band. But certainly, at the very least, the American Corruption mixtape, and I'd call it an album, but it was released as a mixtape, is fantastic. Even though it borrows stuff from the past, I would say lyrically, to large degrees, people always say years ahead of its time, but I think just doing stuff that other people weren't doing at the time. And well worth sort of tracking down.
So yes, definitely one for more listens to.
Yeah.
So we will be back very shortly with more. Yeah. And look after each other, motherfuckers.
Yes. Please look after each other.
And until next time, goodbye.